Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another stream. Last time I streamed, I was showcasing how to set up your models for animations and movements and stuff. And for that, I was using the Swift um, nuclear submarine. This time around, I have been looking at the Invincible, and the Invincible is going to be part of Royal Navy mod pack that's currently in the works. And I look at her, and then I go and look at my model, the Majestic class, which will be standing in for um, the Mayo once the Argentina, the Falkland mods does come out. Um, and yeah, so one of my little trademark things is I like to set up deck parks, and I like to have them, be active and everything. So when I look at the Invincible and I see an empty deck, I I want to fill it. So yeah, and yeah. Just to make things clear, I do have permission to do all this stuff. Um, to modify and add a few bits and pieces to the Invincible. Um me and let's put that over there. Huh? Why does it do that? Sorry, just trying to switch some stuff off. Turn that off. And I could have sworn I turned that off. There we go. Okay. Me and Petruvius, we've been working a lot together with various projects, and yeah. So yeah, the goal today is to go and add in a couple of deck parks, and well, there's a few options because like I can see like there's this one here where they've got like we've got like two Harriers currently on the takeoff positions, ready to go with Seeking, and then we've got about four Harriers over here in standby. That's an option, and looks like another Seeking right there. Um, there's this one, which I'll make it bigger. This one, I don't know how I don't know the full story on this one. Um, but pretty easy to set up, but I'm probably more leaning towards going with this setup. This one here, where we have a bunch of Harriers all set up around the place. So there's a few different approaches. So I can do this all by hand, and today I just don't feel like doing that. I do not feel like just eyeballing everything by hand. Traditionally, I would go and get the Harrier INI file. I would begin by using this data here as my submodel, and then all of its parts, and have them in there as submodels as well. And I would be using this as the parent, and be placing it and be manually going through and setting it that way. I don't feel like doing that today. And there is another method. I haven't used this method before, and that is, well, you go and set it up in here. So we have invincible right here. And then we just go add, we add ourselves a Harrier. And you know what? don't, I don't particularly like looking at it just in its grey pattern. So we'll activate our shaders, go to the shading window, material. I will go and grab the texture for invincible. And do that. Just so I have something better to look at than what we had before. Anyways, so going back to this. So I've got ourselves the Harrier. Now I do need to eyeball it a little bit because landing gear is gonna be a thing. And all I'm trying to get is all I'm trying to do is just get its position. Now I can rotate it, make it look a bit more fancy. And then, hang on, sorry, I rotated the wrong way. Needs to go like that. Let's go about there. That looks okay. Let me go and bring up my picture. See if I can. That. Okay. All right. So looks like there is one Harrier there, one here. And then one there and a Sea King in the back. So let me let's get a Sea King. Sea King's going to be a little bit easy to eyeball because of that tail wheel. And she is looking pretty damn flat. And then we have another Sea King over here on the 2 position. And then we've got, let's get another Harrier. Oops. We are going to line this one up on takeoff. Now I have seen pictures where they have a whole ton of just other aircraft just stored off right over here as well. So I don't know if that's going to be the case, if I'm going to do that or not. I think this will be fine. We've got, what's this, 6 Harriers and we've got 2 Sea Kings. Okay? Okay, so I want to get my position, so I'm just going to go and let's make a folder. New folder. Uh, oh Lord, I am not in the right typing position. Okay, we're going to put that in there. This one is going to be called in invent part. Okay, and then I'm going to open up another one. And in this one, we are going to get there she is. We'll get the invincible once again. What did they say? 6. So I need this copied. Three, 4, 5, 6. And 2 of those. Go to this one. Let's just confirm that they are more or less the same. Yep. And yep. Cool. Okay. Alright. Now let's go and we're going to use the OBJ rigger program for this part. Highly useful. Billion possibilities of what you can do with it. All because it just compares 2 files and gives you coordinates. So let's find my folder. And we are going to go rigged, part, submesh 00. Does not have as many vertices as its reference. Interesting. Alright, let's just have a look and see what the output looks like. Alright, so here's the output. And for whatever reason, hmm, it did not get everything. Okay. Maybe I should have just done this the old-fashioned way and not have been as lazy as I wanted to be. Maybe. Let's have a look. Let's get rid of those. Okay. Probably cranky because it wants. Okay. Yeah, I know what happened now. It was just conflicting names. That's all it was. Where is it? There it is. This one is rigged. This one is parked. Okay. Now we can try this again. We can get the OBJ rigger. Get the rigged. Get the parked. No issues this time. Um, yeah, it was because I know what happened because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 at 5, 6, and then in the other one it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like these were out of order. That's the mistake I made. And here we go. They're all in there. Okay, cool. Well, that makes my life a bit easier. Now we can just go and bring up this and go down to our submodel list. Go boom. I'm just going to copy all of these, paste them all into here. Nice and easy. And then I'm going to get, I'm just going to grab all of that. Paste you up in here. Bring up my, there it is. Bring up the Harrier file. So, location. Boom. Root mesh. The mesh is going to be that. And material. Goes to all of the Harriers. And then I need a seeking, which I haven't got quite ready. So bear with me for just a second while I bring up the file. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to get folder location, and we're going to get the root mesh, the object name, and texture. And then up in here, don't need that right now. Oops. I'll fix that in a minute. Me and Fat Thumbs. Okay. Bring F10. Respawn. Ta-da! Oh, they worked. Yeah, the Harriers works fine. I don't know what's going on with the Sea Kings. Like, Why did that happen? They've been multiplied for some reason. I can't explain that one. And they don't even have a texture. Okay. Alright, well, that's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that. I can fix them. I can look at that later. Sorry. Alright, so yeah. We have our Harriers in. But they are missing a lot of parts. So, let's just go into here. And then we just need to do... Let's just call this one... Let's call it that. We're going to copy all that into here. And let's have a quick look at this stuff. So I need that, need that, need that, need that. That. Yep, 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 yep. Need that. Don't think I need that. So I need all of these bits. Okay. So next up, I'll just copy all of this stuff. I won't. Okay. And then we need that. Also, whoops, parent. And this one is going to be that. So I'm going to go through and add all this stuff to all of these. Making sure to check for those who have the material files. I'll have to redo that. Oh dear. I am feeling that afternoon fatigue. Don't need to prove. Parent. No parent on that one. I might have to cut this all short, because I am feeling very tired. I was kind of hoping my energy would hold out a bit longer than this, but well, yeah. Okay, so all these parts are now in. They are not in animated positions. What the hell? I have never seen this before. Like, I've never seen that before. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I know what I did wrong. I need the root mesh in there, but I did not need the mesh added in there because it was already there. So it was, yeah, doubling up everything. This one is missing material file. And then the next part is just numbering everything. So as you can see, like setting up deck parks can take a while, especially the more complicated you want it to be. Um, Essentially, once it's all set though, like when I do my animation setup and all that, it's all tied into this. This is the ultimate parent. So the only thing I'm moving and doing any animation changes to when the deck parks activate is just that one point, um, and not everything else. There we go. And it looks like I might have missed one of those meshes. There it is. Yeah. How'd it go with the placement? Holy shit. That, I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty good guess. Canopy is not in there. Why? Might have to go look at one of my other files because I have done these before, but it should be. Yeah, there's a few parts that are broken. Sorry. I'm just currently looking through the file here, just making sure I didn't miss any of these parents. Because this wheel here is not connected. Huh. Why are these ailerons right outer wing? Where's doing this stuff while you're tired is not the best idea. There is no right outer wing. So it's parented to right outer wing. Which is a submodel that doesn't exist. It's probably something to do with the damage models. Yeah, okay. So if I fix that to that, and that one to that one, and there is a wheel. There we go. Okay, all the parts are in their spots now. I don't know what's going on with the canopy. But that's besides the point. Alright. So the next part is so let's go and look up. We'll get the Harrier. I need to get some of this stuff. So pivot angles. So go up into here. Oh, went too far. There we go. Alright, so this one needs its stuff changed on I'll need a calculator for this one. No, it's this one here I need to do. So that's the x-axis. It's got a negative 7-degree pitch. This should be 0. Because I've twisted it and not really done anything in terms of the z-axis. It's just been twisted. go. And then the next part is I would have to go and get the animation file to go and get to have all the stuff in its landing configuration. So, let's see. That's the animation file. It won't be in there. It will be in original animations. And there. Okay. Alright, so next part I will be looking in here, so canopy open position, all that stuff. Which is Y position, Z position. That's parented to that, so I don't need to worry. Left wing bold. I didn't think the wings even folded on it. It's a bit weird. So takeoff flap. So left flap. We want that. And right flap, we want this. Ailerons don't need to worry about. Rudder don't need to worry about. Elevators don't need to worry about. Nose gear. Main gear door. That one. Nose gear 2. Okay. Yep, there we go. Oh dear. I don't think the nozzles change their position. Gear door, main gear. Tag 0. Nose gear Set to 0. Hmm. Do wonder. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay. So besides the canopy, it is looking pretty set up. It's just that strut thing. What is that? Outrigger doors. Fan doors? I think I know what's going on here. They copied this from the Russian VTOLs as well. He explains why there's certain things in here that don't make any sense for the Harrier. There we go. Outrigger doors done. Perfect. It is a lot, but yeah. You need to have everything in the landing configuration. Otherwise, when the Harrier does spawn in, it will look very odd. So the next part would be to set up an animation file, which has this as the which has this as the target object, and to move it down on the y-axis by, I don't know, whatever I feel like, a lot, or only 0.3. 0.2 or 0.3 will just put it just inside of the hole, out of sight. um, and then the next part would be setting up an elevator. And if I go and bring up Melbourne as an example, which is somewhere in here. There we go. Oh dear. So we got elevator points. And yeah, so here's the animation files that have been set. So we use single vehicle equals true for deck parks. And we also go and make sure that supported classes is the vehicle that is going to be in there. So for the Harrier, so in our situation, it would be, um, this would be the supported Harrier. And that is to prevent, that's to apply a filter and prevent other aircraft from trying to spawn in that location. And once it's empty, it doesn't replay the like it doesn't cycle through the animation when you use the hangar retract one. So yeah. So the next stage would be like going through and setting all of these up, which won't take very long. The part that's going to take the longest is, in that situation, is renaming, like applying different names to all these. And just updating the files to have stuff. Oh man, hey Seabase. And Darth Max, sorry. Um, I'm just really tired at the moment. Yeah, Seabase, I was just doing a quick run through of how to set up deck parks. Yeah, so anyways, so we would need to go and throw in a new elevator. Use these options, just do that. Boom. Call it elevator 3. This is gonna be, I don't know, just call it H1 for the time being. Where's your associated points? We're just gonna say for time being for 1, because I don't know. I didn't set up this one, so I don't know. I don't know how the um the flight deck stuff is all set up on the Invincible. That was done by Longbow and Cookie Source. They went through and set those up. So I'm not gonna mess around too much. I will just struggle through for a little bit longer. Set that to that. Spawn position and rotation. Rotation, it's only the Y position, so I need that. Normally I would just have 2 windows open, so I could just quickly copy and paste bits and pieces straight over. So we do that. So spawn position, rotation. Boom. Don't need them anymore. And the other little thing is, I need my Harrier. And we need this number here. So that's the offset. So I get this number. Oh, come on. Okay. I take that number. And let's go take. Boom. Equals this. and I set that there. And where is it? Number of elevators needs to go up to 3. Boom. And there we go. They are almost perfectly on top of each other. Almost. What do I need to sort out? Probably this. Here. Spawn it. Okay. I will not stress about all that stuff. You can't quite get them to be completely perfect. Okay, so here's what's happening. There's no taxi route set for that position. That's why that just took off in such a weird way. Um, so what I need to do is just go. That's so weird. Let's just do this. And we're gonna go from Ellie. I feel like I'm not spelling anything right at the moment. There. It needs to go to launch point 1. It's a lot of taxi paths. So let's refresh. There we go. So ideally what I want to do is set up these two as 1 and 2, elevators 1 and 2 point. It means reorganizing a lot of random shit. Yeah, sorry, Seabase. What I do is I'm so used to having the notepad on my second monitor. So it goes back and forth. But yeah, so anyways, walking through it all, I want to have it so that this is going to be elevator 1, that will be elevator 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And by doing that, and then these can be, they're the last listed elevators in the system. Then we'll have a Seaking go there and that go there. 2 launch points for these. I have to put in a disable so that so the elevators don't start feeding aircraft in here while these are all active. Because in order to get these to take off, I need these cleared, and then they gotta go taxi out, and then they gotta go back in. If they're doing an STOL takeoff, that is. From my understanding, the Sea Harriers used on Invincible, they didn't really do vertical takeoffs. And my experience of flying a Harrier in DCS tells me, yeah, you can't carry much when you do a VTOL takeoff. So, yeah. Alright, well, I need a bit of a break to recharge for a bit. I did go out today. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night because Commander Bubs decided she wanted to be up every hour during the night. Um, and then I went out for lunch, catching up with my side of the family for lunch at my sister's place. So I am somewhat socially drained. But yeah. Oh, probably I will most likely have to redo all of the flight deck and taxi points and everything on this in order to make it all work properly with deck parks. And I'll have to change the textures. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy with how I've quickly set it up. Just getting into positions with OBJ Rigger made life so much easier. Generally speaking, I'd be sitting here just manually eyeballing it, and that's not fun. Anyway, so next time, yeah, we'll go through and try to finalize a lot of this stuff. I might do a bunch of it all off stream bit later on. And I think I know what's happening with that. Because it's rotated. So if I set that to 0. Nope, did not help. I'll work it out later. Alright, well you guys have a good afternoon.